What's up, everyone? Hope you're all doing great. I've got a full run through of the latest server update for War Thunder, and I want to walk you through the fixes and tweaks in a way that actually makes sense for your matches, your hangar, and how you approach loadouts without making it dry or robotic. To kick things off, one of the more dramatic sounding fixes is for the F-1117. There was a bug that could shove that aircraft into the air already at maximum speed right when it spawned, which of course made some spawns feel wildly unfair. That's been corrected, and the spawn speed is now capped at 900 kilometers per hour IS, so you should see much more predictable behavior during takeoff moments. Moving along the aircraft list, the Mosquito Mech 6 had an annoying issue across all its variants, where engine and propeller speeds would wobble unpredictably regardless of how you were flying, and that jittery performance has been resolved. Flights in those planes should feel smoother and more faithful to how their engines actually behave. Also, an important change for high-altitude intercept play. The MiG-25 PD's maximum lock-on range has been raised to 80 kilometers, which affects how it finds and tracks targets at extreme standoffs. That's going to shift engagement envelopes for anyone who uses that type of interceptor or flies into its corridor. There are a few other aircraft polish items worth mentioning that won't necessarily make headlines, but will remove small annoyances. Some Mirage family jets had scale list mismatches on their targeting screens. The Su-24M's rocket usage requiring a specific modification was corrected, so you don't get surprised mid-loadout. The MiG-21 PFM's air brake clipping through the belly tank was fixed, and certain carrier airplanes had bomb pylon indicators that could mislead you on which pylon was next for release. All small things, but they stack up into a nicer flying experience. Over in the armored and tracked world, the BMPT got a UI logic fix so you can actually select a second ammunition belt in battle without having to research a particular ATGM modification first. That one was genuinely blocking intended behavior. Another tweak for Leopard 2A4 Italy got the machine gun belt working properly when smoke launchers are fitted, so the modification menu now reflects the weapon's active status correctly. The PGZ-04A had its folding animation missing when damaged. That was a visual bug that's now restored, so damage states read better at a glance. These fixes are the kind that make your pre-battle checks and in-battle adjustments feel less fiddly and more reliable. Naval play also received a handful of targeted corrections. The Stalingrad had an issue where its damage control system wasn't updated properly, which has been fixed so onboard repairs and survivability work as intended. HMS Vanguard had a geometry problem where the second main turret's barrels would clip into the superstructure at full traverse, and that clipping is removed now. Clemenceau's main battery ammo distribution logic was adjusted so that when the ammo load isn't full, the shells get spread evenly between both turrets, which should make gunnery feel more consistent when you're running lower ammo reserves. If you spend time in ships, those changes will help avoid some of the immersion breaking animation or distribution quirks that used to appear. A big chunk of this update is interface and user experience polish, and while polish can sound boring, a lot of these fixes directly affect everyday play. Achievement names nested under tracked achievements could overlap visually. That's resolved, so your progression UI no longer looks cramped. The H-75M, China, premium icon background problem was fixed, so premium vehicles are displayed correctly in lists. Several spawn screen and debriefing bugs were fixed, including situations where countermeasure series could vanish from the spawn screen with custom loadouts, and where the debriefing tab would reset after filing a complaint, or parts of the debriefing result could be cut off with no scrolling option. The X-ray view that showed incorrect ammo counts on some aircraft was corrected, and an indicator that failed to show 3-digit ammo values is now displaying properly. There were also fixes to quick switching camouflage in the appearance window so skins apply reliably, and to localization keys appearing in settings descriptions that used to show a technical key instead of the real text. On top of that, vehicle pack displays and tooltips in the research window were improved, and a duplicate pack listing bug on the Xbox in-game store has been eliminated. Collectively, these changes remove friction from menus and make what used to be small irritations feel fixed and intuitive. Beyond the headline items, there's a clear theme. A lot of the work in this update focused on ironing out UI edge cases and correcting how the game represents vehicle states and equipment in menus, which is the kind of thing players sometimes notice only after several matches, but which cumulatively improves decision-making before and during combat. Patch notes mention that these are the key changes and not an exhaustive list, since some fixes are internal or don't require a full client update. That's worth keeping in mind if you notice other small improvements in your play that didn't get explicitly called out.